Hey guys, LevelCap here. Today I am excited to show you the 4 new maps available to play in the Battlefield Hardline expansion coming out soon called Criminal Activity. This first map here is called The Beat, and you might even notice that I'm running with a golden Tommy gun. There'll be more coverage on the specific weapons in a future video, so check those out. But the map here takes place at nighttime. It's sort of located in a ghetto part of town. There's lots of close quarter action and even some lowriders that use a hydraulic system to get around town. This one certainly isn't a vehicle intensive map. It's mostly just transportation vehicles, not a lot of heavy guns on them. So you're going to see people running around in lowriders, which have seats for everybody to shoot out of, but certainly aren't well armored vehicles. The lowriders certainly don't bring any sort of tactical advantage to the field, although you might argue that it'd be harder to hit the people driving it when the car is bouncing around, but it certainly does look like a candidate for a drive-by. Now the Beat is pretty much a square map where the outsides of the map consist of car dealerships and laundry maps and gas stations and stuff like that, whereas the center of the map is a pretty tightly knit network of apartment complexes with multiple stories and walkways at higher levels, so the center part of the map gets pretty chaotic. And you'll see that I have a nail gun here, which is something you can pick up around the map. It's got a 10-round magazine, it works like a suppressed weapon so you don't show up on the mini-map, and it's a one-shot headshot kill in extreme close quarters. The drop on this thing is insane though, so it's pretty much only a close quarter weapon, and you're really going to want to hipfire it because if you aim down sights, you don't actually have any sights. Now the thing I like about this map is that it really allows you to play the way you want. If you like chaotic infantry-centric gameplay, go towards the center. You'll have multiple levels of elevation. You can get on the top level, shoot down on people, and it just gets crazy. Now if you like slightly more tactical gameplay with less verticality, you can stick to the outsides of the map. There's even a little bit of levolution with some exploding gas stations. Although visually not a particularly impressive looking map, it does play out quite nicely. But I will still say that the TDM spawns are pretty bad. Now if you're in the mood for something completely different, Backwoods has that for you. It is a large redwood themed map with a considerable amount of vehicles. Drivable pickup trucks are littered throughout the map, allowing people to sit in the back part of the truck but not offering them much in the way of cover. There's also a transport helicopter, which I'm flying right now, and although it does seem kind of crazy to see this thing flying through a redwood forest, it doesn't make it any less fun. The map itself is really large and offers a lot of natural cover. Small hills, rocks, trees themselves allow you to get in some pretty fun firefights in the middle of the forest. And although there are quite a few vehicles on this map, I certainly wouldn't tip the scales of power towards the vehicle users because there's so much natural cover. It's going to be pretty easy for infantry to fight back. Also, the middle of the forest, if you start driving off the roads, gets very hard to navigate, so it becomes difficult for vehicles to move anywhere that is not a paved area. The center of the map features a wooden covered bridge which looks to be fully destructible. Not only can you shoot through the roof, the sides of it, but it seems like you can also just bring the whole bridge down. Now I definitely had the most fun using some of the battle rifles on this map with the new FAL and the SG-510, allowing me to drop people from extremely long range, but that's not to say that this map can't be played with, say, shotguns. There's enough cover and enough transport vehicles that allows you to get close quarters to your enemies, and you can waste them with just about whatever kind of gun you prefer to run with. Taking out targets long range with a bolt-action sniper rifle is a lot of fun and very viable on this map. Also, zip lines seem like they could come in quite handy. That basically allows you to traverse long distances with a quick zip line shot, although it does leave you pretty exposed. If you're the kind of person though that likes maps that don't involve a lot of surprises, people sneaking up on you from corners and stuff like that, this map will allow you to control a lot of your engagements. Then again, it does also reward the stealth player who knows how to move through the woods quietly, and you can even get some good flanks off. Now of course there's still plenty of opportunities for all the same Battlefield antics, and you'll even see here, because I was playing with a group of YouTubers, there's plenty of people trying to get C4 kills on their dirt bikes, although I managed to thwart it pretty well in this clip. The next map up is Black Friday. Totally close quarters, totally chaotic, and actually kind of fun, especially if you like really close quarter infantry action. Once you learn the map, I imagine the chaos of this map will go down a little bit, but there is some very good mall firefights. Yes, it takes place in a mall. We're playing on the heist game mode right now. We played this a lot on TDM and Bounty Hunter. Also, Bounty Hunter is a new game mode in this expansion. It's basically kill confirmed from Call of Duty. When you shoot somebody, a golden coin appears on on the ground, you have to run and pick up that coin. If the enemy runs and picks up that coin, then they basically prevent you from getting your bounty. The coins are worth points, both to the attacking team and the defending team. So it's basically just TDM, but with coins on the ground after you kill somebody, so you have to run out and actually pick up the coin. So it doesn't really reward the person who stays in the far back and never goes out to get their coins. Although you can alternatively use the coins as sort of a lure to lure enemy players out to try and pick them up. And just in case you're wondering, this is the KSG-12 shotgun. It holds a lot of ammo and performs very much like the UTS-15 from Battlefield 4. The mall itself is lit up with tons of neon lights. It's got a food court, multiple levels going on there, cool sculptures and stuff that you can destroy. There's actually a decent amount of destruction in this level. And there's also the back areas to the mall that allow basically anybody working there to sort of bring shipments through and service areas and stuff like that. So there's plenty of flanking routes. I haven't quite wrapped my head around the layout of this map yet, but I feel like once you do, this is going to be one of the more important maps to know the layout of, because it is heavily based on your ability to flank. If you're a fan of shotguns and PDWs for close quarter combat, this map is definitely going to cater to your playstyle. It pretty much forces the close quarter engagement. There are a few longer range areas, but for the most part there's enough cover to get around quickly and force the engagement in close range. The last map on the list is definitely one of the cooler one. It features a nightclub in the center of the map called the Eclipse, fully equipped with a dance floor, neon glowing lights, and plenty of music to drum out the sounds of people sneaking up behind you. The firefights in the nightclub itself are pretty chaotic and intense. There's also a lot of destruction with just like the couches and things like that that are sitting around. There's a cool neon glowing tunnel that just looks awesome. Probably not the best to get stuck in for firefights. And there's multiple levels. You can even take an elevator up to the very top of the roof, where you can try and snipe people on the outskirts of the map. Now in the larger versions of this map, such as Conquest or Heist, there are vehicles that you can drive around, the command truck, heavily armored vehicles and stuff like that. There's also a lot going on outside the nightclub. Construction projects, other restaurants, just houses, tons of other stuff going on in this very high-class part of the city. The road areas do lack a little bit in the ways of cover, and there's a lot of high vantage points that allows you to shoot people around the map, so you might find yourself in a bit of a pickle if you're on the ground level trying to sneak around alleyways. Chances are somebody's already got a beat on you. As you can see, the map does take place at night, but it's sort of the traditional nighttime game mode map where everything's very well lit. It's easy to see people, which isn't necessarily unrealistic for being a big city. It also doesn't hurt though to wear darker colors. It will make you a lot harder to see, especially if you're lurking around in dark areas. Like the beat, this map does offer a lot of variety in terms of gameplay, but I will say it kind of caters a little bit more towards the long-range combat. Sure, inside of the nightclub you can get some very close-quarter firefights, but even by, say, the dance floor area, things just get very, very long range, so it can be a little bit tricky to run with a shotty. Overall, I definitely have to say I like the variety of maps in Criminal Activity. No matter what kind of gameplay you prefer, it probably has something for you. They seem to be pretty well laid out in general, and not too much favoritism towards vehicle combat. So if you really like that infantry gameplay, you're going to get a lot of that in this DLC. Be sure to stay tuned for my reviews on the M1A1, also known as the Tommy gun, the FAL, which is a rifle I've been looking forward to for a long time, the SG510, and the KSG12. These are all pretty substantial weapons in general. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. This is LevelCap, signing off.
Down your toes.